Hey there everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility, the show where we take a look at all the latest and greatest, as many as we can get to anyway, new releases in the worlds of all forms of heavy metal, progressive rock, jazz fusion, hard rock, classic rock. That's kind of where we live here on this channel. So, by popular demand, right, I've been trying to listen to this as much as possible during the week because I know we got a lot of folks who are anticipating me talking about it. The brand new album from Transatlantic, the Absolute Universe. I got the Forevermore edition. So this is, it's called the extended version. So this is the 2-disc set, the double album, the big kahuna. Right, let's take a look at this package first before we start discussing it a little bit. So pretty cool artwork, obviously, as most of these Transatlantic albums have. All right, so you got the 2 discs there. Let's take a look at the booklet. So there, more artwork. We got all the lyrics. So basically this is a concept album. All about lots of the problems that are befalling planet Earth these days, right? So, you know, the economy, the world itself, everything that's going on with this place we call home. The guys are touching on it here. There they all are. So, of course, you know the whole crew there, right? You got Mike Portnoy, you've got Neil Morse, you got Roy Nastalt, and Pete Pardo, all obviously. Hopefully none of them need any introduction, but in case you forget, Portnoy, also with Sons of Apollo, Winery Dogs, Liquid Tension Experiment, formerly of Dream Theater, Neil Morse, of course, Neil Morse Solo, the Neil Morse Band, formerly of Spock's Beard, Roy Nastalt of the Flower Kings, formerly of Kaipa, and then Pete Pardo of Marillion, right? So lots of nice shots of the band here, which is pretty cool. More shots of the band, rest of the lyrics, credits, all that stuff there. The guys playing around the studio. Very cool stuff. Nice big package, right? I kind of dig it. I like the epicness of the whole thing. So, again, we've got 2 discs here. Like I said, all about what's going on in the world. And, you can probably, by hearing some of the song titles, you can probably figure it out a little bit. I have yet to really kind of sit down and just kind of read along with each and every song, but I've listened to this numerous times already. And, as almost every album that they do, they start off with this big kind of bombastic symphonic overture type of thing, which starts here. Then you got the really memorable Heart Like a Whirlwind. We got 9 tracks on disc 1, 9 tracks on disc 2. Some of the highlights, it's hard to kind of go through each and every one because, of course, it's a big production here. But Heart Like a Whirlwind, really good. I love, there's a mix of like longer tracks and shorter tracks on here. And by shorter tracks, I'm talking like, maybe 2-3 minutes, right? And then it balances out with some 5-minute long tracks, 8 and 9 minutes. So on the first disc, we've got the Overture, which is just over 8. And then the last track is The World We Used to Know, which is probably the biggest kind of like symphonic prog rock excursion on this album for the most part. There's a lot of them, honestly, but that's like the longest piece, and that's a pretty dynamic track there. But what I really like as well, just as much, are some of the shorter pieces that have really amazing pop hooks. I mean, just really catchy songs like Bully, Swing High, Swing Low, and Rainbow Sky. These are like 3 tracks that kind of go back to back in the middle part of disc 1 that are just have amazing melodies and vocals and just really memorable songs. As soon as you hear them, you're like, oh, love that melody. That's pretty gorgeous. But you got Higher Than the Morning. There's some good rockin' up-tempo stuff on here as well. Looking for the Light is great. And again, you've got everybody singing on here, which is another reason why I like these guys so much, is because it truly sounds like a band. They're all all amazing musicians, and they all contribute with the vocals and the songwriting. It's really good stuff. On disc 2, you got The Sun Comes Up Today, and again, I can't stress enough how much the positive nature of this album, how it's taking, let's face it, we all know the last year has been pretty shitty. It's actually been shitty for a couple of years. But, I think that the message here is that no matter what you get hit with every day, the next day's got to be better. And you have to think that way, right? So The Sun Comes Up Today, perfect way to kick off disc 2 on here. Then you got, I love Owl Howl, might even be my favorite song on the album. It's got these great kind of, Deep Purple inspired organ riffs from Neil Morse. Vocals are great. It's a good rockin' tune. It sounds just like Deep Purple. I really dig it a lot. Solitude is lovely. You got The Greatest Story Never Ends. Wonderful piece. Nice and symphonic. The guys all working together. It's complex, but it all makes perfect sense. And then, again, another one of the probably highlight tracks of the album. It's funny how, like, both discs end with such on a high note. On disc 2, you've got Love Made Away, which is absolutely gorgeous. Again, really symphonic, but just an amazing vocals from Neil Morse on this one. And just one of those kind of heart-tugging songs where you're like, the prog fan in you, loving hearing all this like dynamic instrumentation and all these, complex passages, but yet the gorgeousness of the way the melody is laid out is just absolutely mind-blowing, and it just kind of sweeps you away. But all sorts of stuff. You got a couple really good little short tracks here too. It's a really fun how both discs are kind of the way the sequencing is. You've got longer tracks to start and end each disc, but then in the middle you got a couple shorter ones. So here, like I mentioned, Solitude before, but then you got Belong, Lonesome Rebel, okay, and then Looking for the Light, the reprise. Really, really nice stuff. And the guitars, and Roy Nastalt, nice guitar tones on this album. It seems like, and I'm trying to remember what he said when I spoke to him a couple months ago, but I've seen lots of pictures of him in the recent couple of years playing lots of Telecasters these days. And you can kind of tell on this album, really, really nice guitar tones on here. Portnoy is dynamic as always. You hear, another thing I need to mention, because I was just listening to this again before I started recording this. It's like, Trewavis and Portnoy make a fantastic rhythm section, and you really hear Trewavis's bass quite a bit. Really good bass player, really melodic, up front in the mix. So it's not, this is not like all keyboards and guitars. Man, you hear everything so well. Masterful production on this. And it's so good to hear everybody's musical contributions as well as vocal contributions. Like I said, this is a real band, right? A real band. Very good job. So, as you can tell, I dig this quite a bit. But, I've only had it a week, and I've listened to it like a handful of times already. And it's one of those albums where you're going to need more. You're going to need more. So this is one of those things that I'm going to have to, it's going to have to go into the car. Not that I do a lot of driving these days during COVID, but, it'll be in the car for like a week straight in rotation. I'm also going to want to sit down and just kind of listen and go through the lyrics. Like, I'm not, as you all know, I'm not a big lyric guy. I don't do that often, but I think this is one of those albums where that warrants you having to do that. But man, like I said, it sounds great. Love the packaging. It's big and vibrant and fun. Loads of keys, great guitars, drum and bass off the charts. Love it. Absolutely love it. So there you have it. So as opposed to the other version, so there's two versions of this, right? There's the Forevermore, which is the extended version. Then there's the Breath of Life, which is the abridged version. So it's shorter. It's only one disc. You got some of the same tracks, couple different songs. They changed the vocalists on a couple of the tunes. I've contemplating getting both, because when I was talking to Mike Portnoy the other day, he says they're actually really different. And we'll see. There's so much here. I'm like, the thought of going and buying the other version when, half of it's probably going to be the same, just it's in a different sequence, it's a different vocalist. I don't know, we'll see. Right now, I'm too busy dealing with this to check out the other one, but I may do that. So you can decide. I know there are people I've talked to who have gotten them both. There's people who opted not for the big blown up one and went for the shorter one. I don't know. I think you're going to be missing out if you do that, but it's not that expensive. So, but anyway, check it out. The Absolute Universe. From Transatlantic, Forevermore, the extended version, the double album. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. We'll see you coming up. We've got all sorts of great stuff happening here on the channel, so don't miss any of it. Make sure you subscribe. If you like what you see, please do consider making a donation to the channel via the Ko-Fi link below. And also there's a link to our merch page if you want to get an SOT shirt or a hoodie or a sticker or coffee mug or hat. We got all sorts of fun stuff, all different styles, all different themes and stuff like that. So check it all out. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.